What's up, YouTube channels? This is Tybo82. Right now, I'm going to narrate my review at this Superman, the motion picture anthology on Blu-ray. Wow, that's got a huge disc collection. I bought it last year. This package, it was way different than this part. Now, I really like the edge shield. It's kind of like the classic version, and you have this. This is kind of more advanced. I really like this. And you have in the background, it looks like a Fortress Solitude. That will come in handy. It was okay with the package. Yeah, I'm trying to get there's a behind them like a poster or from in the back, and now I'm trying to find out it recently. So now you have it as a year. It says 1978 until 2006. This is the beginning was the 4 films of Christopher Reeve, and then of course 2006 it was Brandon Routh. Now before the Man of Steel came out was Henry Cavill. Now this is of course an after. Now I can't wait for it until on Blu-ray and DVD by far. So I gotta wait until they come out first before is that. So let's get on to it. I really like the first 2 films of the Richard Donner's version. I still prefer the Donner's version, but not quite Lester's version. Not quite exactly in my mind. It's just it confused me. That when he did Superman 3, that would Richard Pryor on the movie, that makes no sense. It's not actually a comic book story. I would say this is just the one that I've been talking about. I'm talking about the first 2 films of Richard Donner. One for Superman the movie, known as Superman 1, and of course Superman 2. Originally directed Richard Donner did a good job of when he did the first film, and now he's going to do in the sequel in Superman 2. Was released, and it's the same year in 1981 or 1980 or something. So I was in my childhood, I used to watch this film. I saw the first film before I watched it. This whole thing did it before. I remember in the theaters that I saw Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. There was a Lex Luthor was on it, and then of course Lex Luthor's nephew Lenny. Yeah. No, I have no comment, but this is still on it. It still counts, or not. I don't know. So, Superman 1, it was the most huge or groundbreaking. It was a great movie by Richard Donner as well. And Superman 2 was also a directing originally. Now, there is a problem in between Donner and the Soul Kind's rumor or something like that. It didn't enough the money, the budget, or something like that. Before it was in 2006, at the same time, they wanted for reconstruction of film on this DVD and a Blu-ray, so I got here in this packaging. So, lucky enough, I found it, this whole thing, that it was 1980 style. Now, the missing footage, the scene was Marlon Brando was on it. In place Jor-El when talks to her father or son. So that's what happened in this missing footage in originally Superman 2. Because Lester, he don't needed Lester. Lester no needed Marlon Brando because it costs more expensive. Yeah, right. But don't get me wrong, but Lester's version, I did not like much. That basically what was after Soul Kind inspired Donner. I feel frustration when I saw this interview when I bought this Blu-ray. So that's what happened in this basically. That was what happened, and it should be for this reason. So when I saw it in the first movie, it was an epic movie for the scene, and in Superman 2 at the same time. But no, I'm not talking about the Richard Lester's movie. But I'm talking about Richard Donner's version. I really like this. It was called the Richard Donner's cut version. So that's what happened. They wanted using the idea. It was Faster's movie. But Lester's version, it was a very long movie. Don't quote it about this remake, something like that, or rewriting, something like that. It's going to make me confused. So then you have this package, and I find out this whole thing what I saw. Now, there's of course Superman 3. Richard Pryor was on it, and the other 3 villains, something like that. It's not an actually comic book movie, actually. This is not my... It's frustration to me that it's not even fun for. So now let's go to Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Then you have Gene Hammond was once again in Superman 4, and now there's of course Lex Luthor's nephew Lenny, and this ain't counts. Now Lex Luthor, they're gonna combine it into something they want to bring a powerful villain was Nuclear Man. Whoa. Okay, this is something I was going to talk about the one thing only. So then after that, but all these movies in this. Donner's version did a good job with his 2 films only. Lex Luthor was on it, and even the Vanazone with General Zod, Ursa, and None and Destroyer. So that didn't secure it, didn't succeed. Now the Superman 3 to 4 didn't click. It's not quite exactly, but I remember the most of it, Superman 4 in the theaters, but it only takes time, and I remember the most of it before I saw the other 3 films, but Donner's version, that still counts to me. And Lester's version, that didn't count. Because Superman 2 was directing originally Mr. Lester, but now he's going to take over Donner's because some kind of fired him. So that was a frustration. So I'm still by my side Donner by far. And of course, finally, we got 2006 version, director Bryan Singer as Superman Returns, Brandon Routh. Once again, they bring Superman 5. Now they say Superman Returns. It's been 20 years before, and now this isn't gonna go. I saw this movie. It was a very long movie. It's since like 2 hours and a half or something. It was just like. This movie, it was great, but it's the same movie. It's like the same movie. It's a superhero when you go to them. At least there's a music theme by John Williams as far. Like the first 2 films, Donner, it was perfect. Well, that one did it well because now that of course Superman Returns. It was a very long movie. Also, I still believe it was when I saw this on a Blu-ray, for example. I saw that movie. Now let's go to talk about this. After Superman 3 was success, now that they said it was a flop, and this whole thing was just not a huge success. But recently, I remember the most of it. In 1983, Superman 3 was after that, and of course, look at this. SuperGirl in 1984 was Alexander Sokoin was produced before Superman 4. Before it was going to come out, 4 years before. Supergirl was Helen Strayer. Wow, that was to be Superman's cousin. And stars of Peter O'Toole and Faye Dunaway or something. And of course, I remember the Supergirl, and I used to watch it. But this movie is very some kind of girl world. But believe me, it's just the same as Superfilm. Like it's her cousin, and there was a wonk of it. But unfortunately, this movie is not enabled in Superman movie with Supergirl. It says on a Blu-ray, it was that you have this. That was kind of frustration, and now that this is also kind of special or something like that, at least it's in one scene there's when she looks at it, some kind of there's a Superman poster on this movie only. The poster isn't wanted to look at it. Now you have this movie and this whole thing and exactly. But this is a Superman when we're talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This whole thing was a packaging on the Blu-ray, and now you have this Supergirl. Superman Anthology was on Blu-ray, and now I wish that they have a Blu-ray Supergirl or something, but if they don't have a special features or something like that, with trailers or special features or something like that. I wish that they have a Blu-ray or something and have a mic question, but I wish that they have a logo. And the issue is okay, and then this logo, it's not exactly in the movie, just like the poster when I saw on the internet or something like that. So that's what happened. At least in Helen Slater, she was doing okay in Supergirl. I have no problem with this. But why was he not bother myself? I was concerned and I was watching in this. What did I remember? And this whole thing was some kind of my flashback anyway. So anyway, it was a movie. It was not quite exactly if I have in my mind. So this movie is a whole security. It was based on the DC Comics. Superman movies has Warner Brothers, and Supergirl originally was TriStar Pictures. Yeah, and now that's gonna confuse me on the logo. It was some kind of this. There's a DVD on it. It says Warner Brothers. was released at the same time in 2006. So that was what happened, and because it's already released years ago. So when you have it nowadays, this DVD cover, it looks okay, and then this Blu-ray logo, it was okay too. It looks pretty good. So yeah, that's what happens, because it was more advanced, so before it was nowadays. So now what happened now? Now you have this whole thing huge in Superman and SuperGirl franchise was there. So it was based on DC Comics. Did a good job with this on his comic book movies. Some I really like those, so some I don't like that part exactly. Superman 3, it was a flop movie. I know, it was Richard Pryor movie. It's a comedy or something like that. But they want to use this movie? No, they want to use some kind of he's a computer genius in this movie. That was maybe frustration, meaning it's not any of actually like Brainiac. No, they're supposed in this whole thing. Now, of course, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, Lex Luthor was back. It was okay, but after Lex Luthor, his nephew, and even the ultimate villain was a nuclear man. And then Superman Returns, same time, but it was Lex Luthor, played by Kevin Spacey, and now even once more to play the villains. Why was even Lex Luthor was always on it? What happened to the rest of the villains? Should be Brainiac or Bizarro? That was huge to me, and I want to know to find out. So now, of course, you have a Superman reboot movie, and what I saw in the movie, it was pretty good. I want to see become more badass in this movie, in one special movie, not just a whole thing. It was there, but it is CG and elements, and it did a good job with this 3D world. And now you have this. Now you have, of course, I have this packaging here. It's just a classic film, and of course, Superman Returns in 2006. So I can't wait for it until the Man of Steel Blu-ray and DVD. So that's what happened. So I can't wait for it until what happened. Alright then. Stay tuned for more of my movies reviews, and I hope you like my opinions. And so let's see what happens on one of my opinion thoughts, and if something like this happens. So if you like it or not, but believe me, I know what is this package, and I really like those. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope my movies reviews, and I hope you like it, and stay tuned for more. Thank you guys for watching, and this is Tybone82. I'll see you later, guys. See ya.